Ladies and gentlemen, James Lane here. This is episode 148 of the American Reveille Podcast, and deep inside, Breitbart editor-in-chief Alex Marlow's New York Times bestseller, Breaking the News, are apparently 9 major revelations. Well, I looked deep into these revelations. I did the studying, I did the digging, I did the research, and folks, I believe that these revelations are actually 9 major reasons why we the people, we the right, are winning against the left. Folks, you're not going to want to miss this. Next. Ladies and gentlemen, James Lane here. This is episode 148 of the American Reveille Podcast. How you guys doing today? Oh my gosh, I'm tired. I've been working my butt off on the back end, trying to get the website updated, trying to get a bunch of other things done, doing some extra publishing, doing some extra research on how we can expand the business, different ways to build partnerships, build contracts, bring in some revenue so that we can actually expand this across the country, get past the censorship wall, still with the plans for the $200 sticker contest, which basically depends on me getting that website launched and updated. So it kind of comes hard because you're trying to do the podcast, you're trying to get articles and blogs published, you're trying to get content out to the social media, and at the same time you're having to do all this stuff on the back end that nobody can see. So to a lot of people, it seems that we disappear for a few days here and a few days there, and that's not the case. We're just trying to get everything launched so we can get back to a normal schedule. It's just a pain in the butt. It's hard to find people. You know, there's good people that are helping me, and there's, you know, a lot of people that turn out to be flaky. What can you say? And you do the best you can. You do the best you can to get these things done. We had a lot of great help building the website up, but we've had a lot of problems finding somebody to work on the back end and kind of bring it up to speed. So that's something I'm trying to focus on here and there. And, you know, at the same time, I'm doing my dissertation. You know, at the same time, I work full time and we're just trying to bring in money. We need to bring in extra money. So I'm doing a lot of extra stuff on the side to try and make money. So as you know, we're going to do the best we can and plug it out. But, you know, I'm a man of little sleep and a man of high energy. So if anybody's going to figure it out, it's going to be me. I'm not worried about it. We're blasting through. I ask that you support this show. If you love what we do here, please subscribe. Please hit the notification bell, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Rumble, BitChute, whether you're on Gab TV. Any of them, Odyssey, that's on LBRYODYSEE.com. I really, really love those folks. They're like YouTube 2.0. They're like everything good about YouTube, except they don't suck and nobody bans you for stupid reasons, especially the shadow banning. That gets old on YouTube. Gets old. My videos are getting like 60 hits on YouTube. Just 60. I can put something on Gab TV. 10 minutes later, there's 1,000 people that saw it. Gab, they're doing a great job. But YouTube, they shadow ban anybody with a conservative following and a conservative point of view. So whatever you can do to support us, all right? The best thing you can do is to like, share, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, talk about the American Reveille, talk about what we do and all the different platforms, whether it's social media, whether it's the video platforms, whether it's the audio only platforms where you can find us. That's Apple Podcasts, that's Spotify, TuneIn, Deezer. We're all over the place. I'm on Audible. You can read a book and then you can listen to my podcast right on Audible. All of the links are in the description section below. I mean, it's a real big deal, all right? And if you'd like to support us further, all right, you can always donate. You can always hit the support us tab on our website, AmericanReveille.com, or just go in the description below. The description section has all the links, and there's a link there for the newsletter, a link there to donate. We could use your donation. We're hurting, but we're going to make it through. We're rocking and rolling. We're depending on awesome patriots like you to weather the storm with us. But you can also do something else. You know, like I said in the beginning, if you can't do any of that, share, like, word of mouth. All right. Talk about what we're doing. We have to get the word out about the American Reveille and about the American Reveille podcast. But folks, you can always support our sponsor, all right? This episode is sponsored by Life Change Tea. Life Change Tea is a super, super, super awesome product. I drink it myself. It's all natural. And instead of just kind of rattling on about the proprietary blend of herbs and this and that, I want to read a quick letter to you that the owner of Life Change Tea wrote. All right, this is from Ronnie McMullen. He owns Life Change Tea. That's getthetea.com, by the way. Getthetea.com. And remember, when you get the Life Change Tea product, folks, just use promo code James. That'll get you free shipping and handling. This stuff's great. Let me just read this to you real quick, and then we'll get right into the show. Okay, guys? Many years ago, talk show host Ronnie McMullen received a call from a listener who raved about a special tea that performed well naturally for the body. The host investigated and tried the interesting concoction for himself, and in 3 months he'd lost weight, gained more energy, and had overall better health. Ronnie started to research and investigate the herbs and their potential benefit to mankind. That is when he decided he must formulate his own tea product using ingredients that were not being used at the time. This was the birth of Life Change Tea. The reason the name fit was because the tea did just that, a life change. Many years later, Life Change Tea found its home at getthetea.com. At this time, all right, as time went on, Ronnie did not stop at just formulating tea. He began to formulate healthy, beneficial, unique blends of supplements that help the body repair itself. All the ingredients are non-GMO and organic, all right? They're organic if they can be. There are some products that don't, but not many. This Life Change Tea product is organic. Some extracts cannot be considered organic. The body knows what to do. Sometimes it just needs a little help. This became a website based on selling products that work, helping mankind find their way back to good health. The testimonials are real people telling real stories about Get the Tea products and what they've done for them. Unfortunately, because of certain organizations, Get the Tea is not allowed to share the in-depth testimonies because they are considered a claim. Health, though, should be everyone's priority. Today, Get the Tea helps hundreds and thousands stay on track with their health. There's an awakening going on where people are starting to take control of their health and actually do something about it. GetTheTea.com is a partner to people who want to improve their lives. Life Change Tea, restoring America's health one tea bag at a time, and that comes from Ronnie McMullen, all right? He runs the show. Let me tell you something, guys. I drink Life Change Tea. It's a great product. He might not be able to tell you those in-depth testimonials because of the legal process that the government puts out, but I'm going to tell you from my personal experience, somebody who's drank the tea now for the past 3 months, I have lost weight. If you go back, I've been drinking the tea every day for 3 months. Go look at my podcast from 3 months ago. All right. I've lost at least 20 pounds. Guys. Look at that. Oh, yeah. All right. I got a little flab at the bottom, but my top abs are there. GetTheTea.com, folks. GetTheTea.com. Get yourself some Life Change Tea. Use promo code James. Free shipping and handling. You can, as always, stay tuned at the end of this episode for a little 2-minute video I put together about Life Change Tea. But, folks, we're done talking about tea, and we're going to talk about the 9 major revelations from the New York Times bestseller, Breaking the News. All right, guys, this is a very important book. It came out. It's by Alex Marlow. He's the editor-in-chief for Breitbart, and it broke a bunch of stories. I even did a podcast episode about one of them. I'm going to tell you the truth. This looks like wins to me. It looks like we're winning. That's what it feels like. That's what it sounds like. That's what it smells like from a strategical perspective. It sounds like the left is being exposed, all right? And they are falling apart in their lies. That is how this works. I want to read through this article. I want to go through these 9 revelations. I want to talk about how they are wins, guys, how they are wins. Remember, folks, again, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, share. Talk about what we're doing here at the American Reveille. Thank you so much for tuning in. Here we go. This is by Hannah Blue. This came out May 27th. Breitbart News editor-in-chief and New York Times bestselling author Alex Marlow has uncovered several little-known revelations and previously hidden bombshells in his bestseller, Breaking the News, exposing the establishment media's hidden deals and secret corruption, exposing the inner workings between members of the radical left and the establishment media, blowing the lid off their incestuous relationship. Folks, this is a big deal. This is becoming a mainstream thing. People are waking up across this country. People are waking up across the world to the insanity that has been happening happening. And people like Alex Marlow have been breaking these stories, and people are finally paying attention. That in itself is a huge win. That should give you some hope, some inspiration, some optimism to see that regular people that didn't even give a crap about politics before, they are waking up. Marlow, whose book landed on the New York Times bestseller list and USA Today's top 150 best-selling books list on Wednesday, has highlighted key revelations made in breaking the news in the early days of its release. The following are some of the revelations in Marlow's year-long investigative blockbuster. And folks, this is important. All right, these are 9 wins for us. I'll tell you how they're wins. Even if they're a little vague, even if they're highly detailed, they are still wins. Win number one, former New York City mayor and Democrat presidential candidate Michael Bloomberg and his top associates at his powerful news conglomerate, Bloomberg LP, have close ties to the Chinese Communist Party. They regularly met in Beijing with top CCP officials, discussing topics such as cooperation in the field of media, the introduction of Chinese stories to the world, and the strengthening of media cooperation between China and the U.S., showing the bridge between U.S. media corporations and wealthy elites and the Chinese Communist Party. This is very important for exposure. As you see in the news now, people are questioning the Chinese Communist Party. People are questioning the genocide of the Uyghur Muslims. People are asking why the CCP has such a hand in American infrastructure and American energy and American everything. And there's nothing Joe Biden can do to stop it. If anything, this rips the scab right off, rips the Band-Aid right off, and opens the floodgates as people get more and more concerned about the infiltration of communist China in the United States. That is a win. That is an intelligence win for the people, folks. Number 2, and we did a podcast episode on this. Let me take a look real quick on Gab TV here. Here was it. Let's see. Episode 143. On episode 143, we did an episode about Laurene Powell Jobs. I'll make sure to put a little link either up there or at the end of this that'll show you that episode. You can click on it and check it out. But guys, Laurene Powell Jobs, this is number 2. The widow, if you didn't know, of Apple billionaire Steve Jobs is effectively the new George Soros, funding a whole host of left-wing media and political causes, primarily through her shadowy philanthropic entity, the Emerson Collective. As one of the 10 richest women on earth, Jobs has become a secret superpower behind a vast network of left-wing media outlets, organizations, and politicians. According to Marlow, her philanthropic endeavors also include funding media outlets like The Atlantic, Axios, Mother Jones, and ProPublica. So now we know who one of the main components of this puzzle are, who the main bad guy in the Great Reset may turn out to be at the end of the day. Somebody helping bridge the gap between the international cabal of evil elites and their left-wing radicalization and socialist overthrow of the world with media, with companies, with rich wealth, vast power and influence in the United States of America. Another intelligence win. We know where to target our telescope, folks. We know where to look. Number 3, NBC's Chuck Todd was actually Senator Amy Klobuchar's landlord. He never disclosed the connection, despite conducting numerous interviews with Klobuchar during her 2020 presidential campaign and co-moderating 2 primary debates in which Klobuchar participated. Additionally, as Marlow notes, Todd's wife, Christian Kennedy, I was going to say Kennedy. I don't know why. That's a hard, for some reason, Christian Denny altogether sounds weird. Todd's wife, Christian Denny, is a Democratic campaign consultant. Her firm Maverick Strategies was paid over $900,000 by the Bernie Sanders campaign in 2020 and over $1.5 million from Sanders in 2016. We see the connections. These people are being looked at. Folks, the media on the left is falling apart. All of the lies that they told cannot stand on top of each other. The foundation is eroding. Termites have eaten away at the supports, and the building is collapsing. Number 4, Ben Smith, media columnist for the New York Times, has ties to outlets he covers. Smith, who used to be the editor-in-chief of BuzzFeed, accused journalist Ronan Farrow of playing fast and loose with his reporting on scandals that occurred at NBC, which happened to be what Marlow described as the largest outside investor in BuzzFeed. Marlow noted that Smith retained stock in BuzzFeed at the time, and at the time the Farrow piece was published. So that's basically gaming the system. That's cheating. That's inside information, and that's capitalizing on that information. That is the definition of corruption. The New York Times is corrupt. As we see, Laurene Powell owns the corrupt Atlantic, the corrupt Axios, the corrupt and disgusting Mother Jones and ProPublica, the mayor, the former NYC mayor, the Democratic presidential candidate, and the rich ass mofo that he is, Michael Bloomberg, and all of his news conglomerate, the Bloomberg LP, folks, all that, it's tied to China. China, the news, all right? The Democrats, the corruption, the money. Don't you see the puzzle pieces coming together, folks? Don't you see people waking up across this great nation? The information is overwhelming, and it is crushing the left, folks. It is crushing the left. Are you ready for this one? How ready are you for this one? Better be ready. Number 5. Why am I holding up 3 fingers? 5. That's 5 fingers. Secret Service records show that Hunter Biden took at least 23 flights into or out of Joint Base Andrews, the home of Air Force One and Air Force Two, while his father was vice president. Why was Hunter Biden flying to and from the American military base, guys? Where was he going? What did he do when he got there? Americans may never know, and perhaps we have our pro-Biden establishment media to thank for that. That's a big revelation that came out of the book, but that's a win for us because that builds connections, because behind the scenes, there are still investigations going on. Now, Biden's daddy, the wannabe prezi, he can, in his dementia-ridden spats, do whatever he can to cancel investigations and throw off the investigators from all different. But people are getting frustrated. People are speaking up. People won't shut up about it. You would have to commit genocide in the United States of America to shut the right up about Hunter Biden, about the stolen election, about the fraud and the garbage. I'm sick of pretending it's not real. I've never pretended it's not real, but we've been quiet about things to not get banned, and I'm sick of that because you get banned anyway. It was all garbage. It was all BS, and we have Secret Service records that now show and build connections for things. One day, Joe Biden won't be in office. One day, there will be a Republican in office, a DeSantis, a Trump, somebody with the agenda to fix this country, with the great leadership skills and great big personality that it would take to repair the broken bridges in this nation, and they're going to investigate Hunter. Mark my words, give it a couple years, Hunter will go to jail. This is only the beginning. That is a win. Number 6. Boom. The New York Times 1619 Project was a concerted effort by the Times to pivot the newsroom's focus from the Trump-Russia collusion hoax to race hysteria. According to Marlow, he also notes that a group of respected historians submitted a letter to the New York Times criticizing the project for containing factual errors and having an opaque fact-checking process. But the Times dismissed their concerns, and you can tell, though, that this is a big deal because the left is starting to eat itself. The main Democrats, the old-school Democrats, are starting to call out woke culture for its destructive and self-corrosive manner, its battery acid, sulfuric acid, alien versus predator, bloody acid type freaking volatile existence. Woke destroys all, ladies and gentlemen, and the 1619 Project was no different. It was a woke project, and there have been article upon article upon article dismissing and trashing and destroying 1619 Project and the people involved in the 1619 Project. That is a win for the right. I hear a lot of moping, so I got to point out the wins. What can I say, folks? That is what I do. Number 7. You ready for this? Part of Amazon's $10 million donation to organizations supporting justice and equity went to Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, which is sponsored by, get it? Are you ready? Get it down, write it down. 1,000 Currents. All right. 1,000 Currents. Shout out Hugo Gerner. 1,000 Currents. a nonprofit whose vice chairman is Susan Rosenberg, a convicted left-wing terrorist. All right, Rosenberg, a former member of the Weather Underground. And if anybody knows about that, they can check out my interviews with Hugo Gerner. You could check out his book, USSR, United States Socialist Republic. They talk about this. Bill Ayers ran the Weather Underground. He worked right with Rosenberg, okay? This dude, he went to prison with her for bombing things. We're going to talk about that. We're going to read through this. It'll tell you what he bombed. And she bombed. They bombed police stations. They bombed the Capitol. They did all this. And guess who pardoned them? Billy Boy Clinton. Bill Ayers, he went on to earn a PhD in early childhood education. And he designed and built Common Core. All right? You can thank Obama for that. Just dig. Just dig, folks. I really just need you to dig and use your minds, your brains, your fingers, your eyes, your ears. I need you to dig and look up this information. Bill Ayers, Weather Underground. All right. You will see. It will open a whole new world. Don't you dare close your eyes. You may want to close your eyes, though. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. Rosenberg, a former member of the Weather Underground, came to national prominence as a central figure in the May 19 Communist Organization, a group responsible for a series of violent incidents in the late 70s and 80s. Among the group's most infamous crimes was the 1983 bombing of the U.S. Capitol. Tell me how this isn't revenge against the right for squashing the left's idea of communist socialist utopia in the 1970s and 80s. Tell me this isn't a bunch of hippies that grew up to be adults holding positions of power, trying to punish their opponents of old. Ladies and gentlemen, this story has been told time and time again throughout the centuries, and here we are living it once again. So how are we going to conduct ourselves this time? How are we going to put the genie back in the bottle? How are we going to put the ghost back into the contraption that the Ghostbusters built to hold them in the contraption so that they don't come out and screw New York City? Listen, my analogies aren't always the best. I do the best I can, okay? I'm getting old. All right, 36, my brain is falling out of my head, but I'm a veteran, so I chuck through it as best as I can. But that Ghostbusters analogy was absolute garbage. John W. Rogers Jr., he serves on the board. Okay, listen, this is number where I lost my count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is number 8, folks. Yes, I can count. I wasn't a Marine. John W. Rogers, John W. Rogers Jr., who serves on the board of the New York Times Company, has close ties to the Obamas. All right. He was once, what is that? And was one, okay. There's a typo there. He was once Barack Obama's earliest and strongest political supporters. All right. That could have been one of Barack Obama's earliest and strongest supporters, or once was. I think it was one of, they forgot a word there, was one of Barack Obama's earliest and strongest political supporters. That's John W. Rogers. Marlow describes Rogers as perhaps the ultimate Obama insider. If the establishment had an establishment, and it does, in the New York Times, and it is crystal clear to honest observers of the Times that their editorial decisions reflect the people in their leadership. Folks, all right? This is another important source of information. It's another important leak. It's another important insight into Obama and his crimes that will be eventually exposed. All right. Sometimes big wins start with a trail of breadcrumbs. That, to me, folks, is a trail of breadcrumbs. And number 9, after the 2020 election, Joe Biden, who benefited a great deal from Silicon Valley's political and financial support during his campaign, seemingly rewarded big tech by offering Silicon Valley elites key positions in his administration's transition team. Marlow notes that Jeff Zients, a former Facebook board member, is Biden's COVID czar. All right. Erskine, how do you say that? Erskine. What a name. Erskine Bowles. There you go. That's a hell of a name. Erskine Bowles. It sounds like a freaking stomach syndrome. Man, I have diverticulitis. Oh, I've got Erskine Bowles syndrome. I shit myself every time I read about the left. A former Facebook board member advised transition. She advised the Biden transition. Jessica Hertz, formerly a government affairs executive at Facebook, she served as Biden's transition team general counsel. All right. I mean, this is a lot. All right. It seems that Facebook is getting rewarded all over the place. Remember their donations to the campaigns in Georgia and the runoff? Remember all of the different big tech contributions to the Biden campaign? This is not a joke. Biden is paying off the left, and we have proof. It is all being slowly held to account. I know everybody wanted instant gratification. Everybody wanted the satisfaction of the hammer falling on the left right away, but it doesn't work like that. We have a slow-ass American legal system, but the lawsuits are rising and the claims are calling. The people are awakening, and the BS isn't going to fly anymore, guys. All right, pull your head out of the sand and see what is actually happening. All right, the accountability is coming. It says these revelations have generated a significant amount of buzz in recent days, drawing reactions from key political players, including elected officials from Governor Kristi Noem to Senator Joni Ernst. All right, guys. Things are being done. A lot of crazy things are being done. It's 2021, all right? We had COVID last year, COVID coming through to this year, all of these freaking corrupt individuals, the scandals involving the election, and now next month in June, they're going to bring some report about UFOs and aliens or something. The whole simulation is crashing. The whole thing's falling apart. But really what's happening and what it feels like and what it looks like to me, we're not losing, all right? This week we got these big wins. We're getting these blows in where, boom, we're throwing hooks. We're cracking their foundation. Some weeks they hit us with the hooks and we go down, but we keep getting up and we keep fighting back. We keep opening our mouths. The left is breaking, folks. That's absolutely what's happening. So those revelations to me, no, those are wins. They might be varying degrees of win, all right? They might be simple. Some might be a little more complicated, but they are still wins, all right? This is an entertainment show. I want to give you the truth. I want to tell you my opinion on that truth. I want to make you laugh sometimes, but sometimes I want to have a serious conversation. This Bill Ayers stuff that's going on here, not Bill Ayers, but when you look over here, when they're talking about the weather underground, right? When they're talking about Thousand Currents, when they're talking about Rosenberg, that is some scary stuff right there. When they're talking about Laurene Powell Jobs, when they're talking about her replacing Soros, that's great reset stuff. These are big, big pieces of the puzzle that we weren't supposed to know. And we now know them. So let's use them to our advantage, patriots. Folks, that's episode 148 of the American Reveille Podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I really hope, like I said, you'll take time to go to getthetea.com. Check out our sponsor, all right? They're a great sponsor. Use promo code James. Get free shipping and handling. The cleanses help me tremendously. Stick around for an extra 2 minutes or so. I put a little ad together about it. If you'd like, of course, visit us on all of our social media. That's American_Reveille. Just search that. You'll find us everywhere, guys. We're on Parler. Boom, American_Reveille. We're on Gab. Boom, American_Reveille. My Gab is giving me a laggy blank screen for some reason. Reload. Boom. There. We're on Gab. Now you see it. Ha 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 ha. MeWe. American_Reveille. Look at that beautiful picture of me drinking with a straw out of a Mylanta bottle. I have the Jewish stomach, folks. It's okay. I can say that I'm Jewish. I drink out of the Mylanta bottle to just get through my day. My day, guys. We're on Odyssey. It's a video hosting platform. ODYSEE. It's awesome. It's beautiful. Listen, it's all in the description section. Gab TV. They do videos. BitChute. They do videos. We're on Rumble. They do videos, American_Reveille. Cut out the and just search for American Reveille Podcast. You'll find us everywhere. We're on Apple Podcasts, as you know. Give us that 5-star rating. Boom. We're on Spotify. We're all over the place. You can go to the website. You can check everything out there. That's AmericanReveille.com. You can hit the Support Us tab if you would like, and I would greatly appreciate that. Help fund the American Reveille. You can donate through PayPal. We do the cryptocurrency thing. I've got some quick SafeMoon, Dogecoin, Bitcoin, little barcodes and things here, QR codes and stuff for the technologically savvy who would like to contribute that way. Email me. I can get you any kind of code for anything if you want to give us a particular currency. Listen, I greatly appreciate everything you do. You don't have to donate. You don't have to go to the sponsor. I would love it if you would go to the sponsor. They help us tremendously. And by helping them, it keeps us rolling. But at the end of the day, please just share. All right. Talk about the American Reveille. I put on this show for you, and a lot of you really love it. I get some great feedback, and I'm so thankful for it. But I am asking you, please buy into what I'm asking you. Talk about the American Reveille, share the show with everybody you know, and let's take this narrative by the horns and steer it in the right direction. Folks, I'll see you on episode 149. I love you all. Have an amazing day. Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, James Lane here, and I want to tell you about Life Change Tea. That's right, Life Change Tea. I have a pack of it right here. Listen, as many of you know, I've been working really, really hard to get back in shape, okay? I was thinking lately, right? And you should probably be thinking about it too. With how crazy everything is, with how unstable the government seems, with all of these socialists, all of this leftist insanity. You would just call it insanity. Who knows when the hell I'm going to have to run, or when I'm going to have to, I don't know, save my family from something. I don't know. So I was getting fatter and fatter and fatter, feeling crappier and crappier and crappier. My diet was junk. I started by cleaning up the diet. I've been working out more and more, but I was still bloated. I was still gassy. I was still feeling crappy. And I finally decided to pull out an old trick in the book. All right. Something that I used for weight loss in the past. And I was thinking about a cleanse, right? Maybe take something that would help me evacuate my bowels a little bit, if you know what I mean. But you know, what I found was something different. I found Life Change Tea. All right, www.getthetea.com. I found this Life Change Tea, and instead of a 7-day or a 14-day cleanse, a 3-day cleanse, what they were offering was a daily tea, like a daily delicious iced tea, not some kind of weird hot tea or some kind of nasty tasting thing. No, this was a health supplement. All right, I started reading about it, and they were talking about all these herbs, these ancient herbs, right? Look at this: organic blessed thistle herb, malva leaf, organic marshmallow leaf. I didn't even know what the heck a marshmallow leaf was. Apparently, it's for anti-inflammatory and antioxidants and stuff. I looked some of this stuff up. It's crazy. Milk thistle extract that cleans your liver and kidneys. I mean, there's all these different things in here, but I was happy. I was attracted to it because it was all natural. It was put together in the U.S., right? Obviously, they've got to get spices from these very special places. Not spices, but, you know, these special herbs. They got to get them from special places around the world, but it's all done here. It's packaged, put together, and blended accordingly right here in the USA, all right? And I tried it, and it was delicious. Look at this. I'm old school. I fill a jug. You see this big jug right here? And for those listening over there on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and everything like that, I'm holding this big gallon jug that used to be full of water. See those tea bags floating in the bottom there? This was full, guys. But I've been drinking it every day, twice a day, 8 ounces. Take a listen. Pour it in the glass. Oh yeah, that's not a sound effect. That's real. Look at this. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. And mabuhay to all my Filipino friends out there. I have the mint flavor. It's actually really good. I really like it. It's yummy. Look, this stuff's good. I can take that right now. I'm going to do 2 hours of podcast recording after this. It's not like me drinking that's going to send me running to the bed. It's gentle. It's good stuff, all right? So it's got all these herbs. They cleanse you out. They make you regular again. They clean the toxins out of your system. They help you clean the extra waste that's been stored up in the colon, the stuff that's not healthy for you, not good for you. It keeps the bloat down. I don't feel so swollen. You know how you feel like swollen sometimes? Your fingers are... Yeah, you don't feel like that. It's gone. It's absolutely gone. So it's good stuff, guys. Listen, you have to go to getthetea.com. GETTHETEA.com. www.getthetea.com. www.getthetea.com. Promo code James, folks. Promo code James. That'll get you free shipping and handling. It's not expensive. It's good stuff, all right? It helps maintain your health. It cleanses your body from all kinds of toxins, all kinds of things that can cause colds and flus and different things like that. It keeps the bugs out real good. It helps your digestion, all right? Just like I've been saying, my bloats, I feel so much better, guys. I feel so much better. And just in this journey that I'm taking to get back in shape, I really feel like it's helping me immensely. It really is. I really think so. So try it out, guys. Life Change Tea. You just saw me drink a bunch of it. You just saw my almost empty jug. That's, by the way, like the third jug. All right. That's not the first jug. Not the first jug at all. Trust me. It's good stuff, guys. You're not going to be disappointed. You're going to thank me. All right. www.getthetea.com. www.getthetea.com. Get your Life Change Tea. Use the promo code James. Free shipping and handling. Thanks, guys.